welcome. Here we are jumping into the first match for today's Go4WoT Asia Cup number 17. I'm GoGoGadget, and here we are. We've got a match right now between Concordia, a new team to the Cup. They've got a few familiar faces in their team lineup, of course, but kind of branded differently, I suppose, and they're going to be doing battle against HMNZ, the heavy metal tank company, of course, if you may have guessed, from New Zealand predominantly, or potentially all from New Zealand. I'm not 100% sure, but right now we are going to be getting these picks underway, so let's go ahead and take a look at those ones. Right off the bat for the first picks from Concordia, they decided to go with an IS-3 and a 110, so locking in that Russian Tier 8 heavy and that Chinese Tier 8 heavy early on. That was responded with a T-54 lightweight and an AMX CDC, which is a new tank. I don't think we've ever seen it before certainly in any Go4 match that I've cast. So the AMX CDC, of course, was introduced in patch 9.6, so a fairly recent addition to the game, and it plays a lot like a Japanese medium tank, or so I've been told. I haven't played it myself, but yeah, very, very interesting sort of tank. It's got very light armor. It is a medium tank itself, but it has sort of light tank worthy mobility. Fairly decentish gun for what it is as well. So I'll be very interested to see how that CDC goes in, fits in, I suppose, to the HMNZ lineup. And oh, they've just swapped things around on me, so I'm going to have to change the overlay. There we go, HMNZ and Concordia. There we go. Okay, so, and as we get right back into the match, not too sure, but World of Tanks, it's not liking me today, apparently. It's been kind enough to crash on me twice, so hopefully we can get all that sorted out. But as we're jumping right back into the game now, yeah, we'll be able to load in. Now, of course, the first map, as we just saw, was going to be, I think, Lakeside. In fact, if I just double check, Lakeville, yes, Lakeville as the first map between these two guys. Okay, there we go. Perfect timing as we head back into this one. And as we're loading in here, let's go ahead and take another look at both of these lineups. And it is worth noting the HMNZ, they are only playing with 6 today. Unfortunately, their 7th did have a few internet issues, so was not able to get in here in time. So they're going to be playing with 6, and their 6 taking into battle 1 IS-3, 1 AMX CDC, 1 RHM-B, T-28 prototype, T-54 lightweight, and another T-54 lightweight. They are going to be doing battle against. It's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a tongue twister, but Lazuk in a 110, Lord Baishi in an IS-3, Sir Boggs in an IS-3, 3 T-54 lightweights being driven by Genesis 72, AS Pogi, and Cyrus Virus. That's a good one. And a T-37 being commanded by SZI Steffi. So, rolling out here, I'm going to be expecting some fairly standard defensive positions. I think if there's any map where having 6 tanks, you might still be able to make it work, I think Lakeville could be that map here for these guys. I mean, that extra scout on the defensive side of Lakeville, really, there's not a great deal of situations where that scout is going to be able to spot a push early enough to actually have much of an impact, I feel. Of course, as tier 6 tanks, the T-37 can definitely put out a bit of damage, but I think if these guys from HMNZ play this right, then they've got a good chance still of being able to hold this defense. So right now, just taking a look, we've got this AMX CDC here, the tier 8 French medium premium tank. Going to be heading down the 1-2 line there, and he's going to be meeting some of those T-54 lightweights. It's looking as though 3 T-54 lightweights from Concordia going to be heading down that line as well. And I'm not too sure if HMNZ actually should have maybe sent a few more tanks to help out Exploiter here, because he's actually going to be in a little bit of trouble pretty quickly. He has been spotted out right there, but right now, this is a very aggressive play from Exploiter. If those T-54s just came over the hill right now even, then he's absolutely... He's dead. Simple as that, pretty much. And that's what we're actually going to be seeing right now. Those 3 T-54s from Concordia are going to be grouping up around him. And there we go. The first shot lands onto Exploiter. Second, third, dropped down to 49% HP. Tracks the damage as well. And this AMX is going to be going up in smoke in no time at all. There we go. Cyrus Forest takes the final kill there. And suddenly HMNZ, they are stretched thin. We can see as we flick over to their other T-54 lightweight, Madman 99. Now he's going to be the next target, and he's not going to be able to do anything. And even the turret not angled correctly. There's drivers down, gas tanks damaged. One more shot, he's going to be going down. Does manage to get a few ricochets, one track shot on the left as well. But there we go. That's going to be AS Pogi with the last shot remaining. So all in all, this defense is falling to pieces for HMNZ. Concordia just rolling through them on both flanks right here. And you know, they've got these two tank destroyers here, which do seem to be doing, you know, a little bit of damage. T28 prototype, not a bad tank in this situation, I feel, but really it's just not going to work out for them when they've just been so heavily beaten on one flank, weren't able to take any of the attackers on that 1-2 line. And yeah, we're going to be seeing right now the rest of them potentially mopped up. They might be able to get a kill or two. Actually, yes, they are. There we go. So that's going to be at least that T-37 going down. And we're going to be seeing I'm Kiwi here. He's actually used this RHM tank destroyer a few times before. Of course, again, a French Tier 8 with paper-thin armor. But that is going to be the base cap there for Concordia. And a convincing first half, or first map win there on the attacking side of Lakeville. And we take a look at the team score there as well. We can see Ginger and the T28 prototype, 1.7k damage. Pretty respectable amount of damage coming out of that tank destroyer. That's exactly, you know, what you'd be wanting from the T28. The RHM not quite as much as well. Those T54s just didn't work. AMX CDC managed to get one shot off, and I'm not too sure how, but I don't even know how you only deal 97 damage in an IS-3. Unless you did the final 97 to SZI Steffi there, but Taney really needs to kind of focus a little bit more on those shots. I think so. Of course, lots more to work on. And that's a great thing about the Go4WoT. It does happen every week. So every week we do see these teams kind of, you know, taking things away from their matches, seeing what they can do better, and really continuing to improve. So right now, going to be getting in towards the second half here. And of course, for those that don't know, we are swapping sides as per usual in any best of 3 map. We do play one side, well, each team does play once on either side. So now it's going to be HMNZ's turn to have a crack at the offense here on Lakeville, and it's going to be up to Concordia to try and defend it up. But with the way that they're looking, Concordia looking very, very strong, and you know, they are a new team with quite a few new names. I do recognise Lord Bayushi, I recognise Lazuk, maybe even Pogi as well from their lineup, but I think the rest of them, I think are fairly new competitors. I certainly haven't seen them around the Go4WoT, the Go4WoTs either, any of the recent ones. But right now, going to be just taking a look. Okay. Yes, alright, and getting the tank picks underway for this next one. So, right now, I really don't think I don't really think the RHM worked at all that last half. I mean, if you're going to pick a tank destroyer, RHM is just not. I don't know. The T28 prototype, we obviously saw that work, and it definitely can. You know, it's an American. It's got an American turret, great in hold down positions. you know, one of its vulnerabilities, of course, the open top turret. Well, it doesn't really matter in a competitive setting here, and particularly on Lakeville, where we're never going to see any artillery. So I like the T28 prototype pick. You know, I feel as though that definitely worked, but maybe a couple of those instead of that RHM. But as well on the AMX CDC, pushing out an AMX CDC solo on its own against a flank, which, well, when you looked at the Concordia lineup, was pretty obviously going to, well, not obviously, but definitely had a strong chance of having those 3 T54 lightweights come down. It's not the best move, I'm afraid, from the HMNZ guys, but hopefully this time, I mean, on the attack, should be a lot simpler. Just push all your tanks into one spot. I'd like to see them go for lots of T54 lightweights, maybe do a 1-2 push. Just get a nice, you know, get the AMX CDC in there, a couple of T54 lightweights, maybe even a 5100. I reckon that could work. Alrighty, so it's looking like, and Narclove in chat there saying you just got back. Wise at 6v7. Unfortunately, HMNZ they are one member down because their last member was having a few internet issues that he can't quite resolve. So excuse me. But right now they do have 6 tier 8 tanks, so that is I suppose most important thing. You can field 6 tier 8s, and well, we have seen matches before go you know, 7-0, so it is certainly not out of the question for a team to pull off a 6v7 victory, although it definitely will be a lot harder. So right now it's looking like Briar's popped into our chat as well, and it's going to be hopefully getting this one underway very, very soon. And are they... what are we waiting on? Let's have a look. Are we waiting on... no, I can see... oh, okay, I see the tank picks there. It seems as though... oh, okay, Lord Bayushi just picked his whole team. So... fair enough. Fair enough. But right now, RHM and an IS3, so they are going to be going with that RHM again. Excuse me. Not particularly convinced with that one, to be honest. I mean, if you take a look at the stats, the RHM Borsig Waffenträger. I'm not sure. I'm probably butchering that name, but I think they're the only team that's actually... yeah, I think they are the only team that actually has ever picked the RHM. Of course, that German Tier 8 tank destroyer. And its top gun, I mean, it does have a very nice gun. As the top gun, you know, 750 damage with 334 penetration. So if you can actually get it to hit stuff, then yeah, it's probably a decent pick, but not too sure otherwise. Of course, they could also be running the 128 mil gun, which has, according to what I'm looking at, the best damage per minute in tier. So right now, though, going to be letting everyone know that we're ready. Well, ready again. So hopefully we can get this one underway. And it's all down to HMNZ. They need to win this next one on the attack to stay in this best of 3. Otherwise, Concordia, they're going to be heading in towards the quarterfinals, which are next up. So, loading into the match right now. Let's go ahead and run through HMNZ's lineup. I don't think we got through all of them last time. So, starting from the top, once we get into game. In fact, can we go third person whilst we're counting down? I don't think we can. Unfortunately, no, we can't. But yeah, let's go ahead and run through their lineup. So, running with that IS3 up the top for HMNZ is going to be Ginger in that Tier 8 Russian heavy tank. And they are actually bringing pretty much a very similar lineup, just with a couple more T-54 lightweights. They've got Exploiter here in his AMX CDC again. I Am Kiwi in that German Tier 8 tank destroyer, the RHM Borsig. Kiwi Freedom is going to be in his T-54 lightweight. We've got Madman 99 in another T-54 lightweight. Taney Local as well, rolling out in that strong Soviet Tier 8 light tank. So early on we're going to be seeing, okay, this is interesting. They're pushing their RHM, so HMNZ, they're getting their light tanks and their CDC off towards the 2 line. They've got their IS3 and the RHM, so still quite a bit of firepower left in the city here. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Interesting choice to kind of leave their IS3 and RHM, and they're not actually pushing with them either. They're just kind of sitting ways back. I actually think this could potentially work out for them. I mean, 3 T-54 lightweights that could very well be enough to push through the defensive. 3 T-54s and that CDC. They could definitely push through with that. As Kiwi Freedom actually takes 14 damage from a nasty knock there, courtesy of Madman 99. But Taney, Madman and Kiwi, they're all going to be coming up right now. So let's jump into free spec mode as we see them around the hill on that AMX 5100 there. That is going to be Lazuk having a word to them, getting a few shots across. He's up on the hill already, put out 2 shells worth of pain and not stopping there. Gets another one. That's going to hit Kiwi Freedom, dropping him down to 56% health. Madman 99, he's able to get a few shots on towards that T-32. Takes another one from Lazuk though. And overall it's looking like a pretty good rotation from Concordia right here. Madman dropped down to 4% HP. One more shot will be enough to take him out. That's going to come in from Lord Bayushi right there. Exploiter trying to get a shot out. That's not going to penetrate the IS-3's thick frontal armor. And now it is not looking good for the heavy metal tank company. As all of Concordia, roll in through there. Exploiter, one shot from death. No, I tell a lie, 1%. Steffi going to finish him off. Kiwi Freedom there, not even able to close the deal on Lazuk's AMX 5100 there. Another Tier 8 Russian light falls. And that's going to mean that only Ginger and I'm Kiwi are left. With only 2 left against the full remaining 7 of Concordia. The base capture only on 29. I don't think we're going to be seeing HMNZ progressing any further in this tournament today. They definitely gave it a crack. Very hard when you are a one-man down, only playing with 6 players, but I'm Kiwi. Going to be taking one more shot there, going down to Pogie. Ginger still on 100%, but actually might be able to get the kill on the AMX at least. Bit of a consolation prize, a wooden spoon there, and he does. So they can go away having destroyed at least one Tier 8 tank in this best of 3. So that's something. That's something to be happy about at least. So let's take a look right now at the team score between these two guys. As we get that up, we can see that Ginger up the top, nothing, not even as much damage on the HMNZ side as last battle. So that is certainly not looking particularly pretty. On the other side though, Concordia, Lazuk dealt over 2,000 damage in that AMX 5100. Genesis 72 with 1.7k in his T-54 lightweight. Pogie there with the T-32 dealing 1.17 thousand. So some pretty good numbers over there on the Concordia side, and it's great to see them. They're looking very strong for a newly formed team. But right now, guys, what we're going to be doing is jumping into another short little break before our quarterfinals start off here. So do not go anywhere. Coming up right after this, the quarterfinals of ESL Asia Go4WoT Cup number 17.